Okay, we are live. I am Anita Yokota. Today we are going to look and take a peek at my new book, Grounded Living. Here it is. And I'm just going to wait for some people. So while I wait for some people, I am going to go on Instagram and get set up so that they can view me as well. So I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like there's people joining in. I'm so excited. Hi, Danny. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone from Instagram. I see Styling Out Too. I see Corm Coy, Samantha, Tina, Devin, Deluxe Disco Boy. Ooh, I like that name. It's Machu. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Okay, let's get started. I have something so excited to share. I'm sure you saw my IG stories. I'm on Facebook and YouTube Live as well if you want to view me there. But of course, I'm here on Talk Shop Live. This is my first show, guys. I'm really excited. The reason why I'm excited is because we get to talk about my new book. Okay, sorry. Grounded Living. You can see it here. Okay, here it is. Here we go. And it is all about biophilic design. Tell me in the comments if you even know what biophilic design is. If you don't know, let me know as well, and I can give you a little explanation of what it is because it is an amazing idea about bringing nature into our homes through interior design. And that is my jam. I am a licensed therapist. In case you guys are new to me, I am a licensed therapist, 20 years, and did marriage and family therapy, saw so many clients in their homes. I did home visits. And along the way, I noticed a very consistent theme, which is how are we stabilizing how we feel at home through the organization of our home, through the clutter, through the colors and the space and the furniture flow, all those things. I ran into those issues while I was helping families and couples and children with communication, relational issues. All of that was really entangled together. Hi, Robbie. Hi, Juliet. So basically, this is what transformed is my first book is called Home Therapy. My second one is Biophilic Design and Interior Design. So it's psychology and nature interior design methodology mixed together. But before I go on, I just wanted to share with you guys that if you're watching on Talk Shop Live, and as I'm explaining things about my new book, and you're like, oh, I really want to get this book, I want to see how it's like, and make it my guide for the next phase in my home as I live in it, click the shop button. And then if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, it's so easy. All you have to do is comment shop for the link to order. And for YouTube viewers, click the link in the description and it will bring you to the right place to order the book. So it's very exciting for all of you to be in here. But back to why I wrote this book. I just noticed my own home and the pain points. Let me know what pain points you have in your home. I'd love to help you address it today. And we can talk about how my book can help you feel better at home. Because honestly, I'm not sure how you feel about just everything right now. It just feels like our world is in disarray. And what we can control, how we control our nervous system, our mind, body, and our mental health, that's really all that we can control, right? Everything outside of us is We can do our best to support it, but we're not in full control. So why not use our home as a way to calm us down, as a tool to relax? Hi, Delaney. Um, so that is kind of the crux of why I wrote the book. I see Robbie, you have a question. Okay, so Robbie says, I am curious what first drew you to biophilic design and how did it evolve into your personal signature style? Amazing question. Again, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I was born and raised in Seattle. So if you can imagine the Northwest, it is trees and forests and lakes and rivers. The four season exists there. And all throughout the different seasons, we were outside a lot. Like when it was pouring rain, the schools didn't care. We were out there making mud pies. So I was very connected to the outdoors. My dad loved to go fishing. He took us out camping. Junior high to high school, I learned how to ski, and we went almost every weekend in the winter to go skiing with our friends. And then summer hikes, water. I loved all the water sports in the summer. So I was immersed in nature. And my dad's an architect. So I think interior design and nature was already infused into my natural instinct to create. I'm a very creative person, as you can guess. And as I became a therapist, again, doing home visits, it was solely focused on therapy. But when I did those home visits, I noticed our home environment is very important to how we support our feelings, our emotions, and how we make productivity work for us and relational communication and decisions as well. So that kind of evolved. And then I pivoted to interior design because at the end of the day, I'm kind of a free bird to be helping people in an office with four walls boxed in. That just really wasn't my style. And so that's kind of how it evolved as far as my interior design and psychology. And then with biophilic design, for sure, it's my upbringing, my dad's architecture, kind of influence in me. And then just noticing the pattern of how nature is, even the landscapes. Okay. Like in my book, I talk about four landscapes, and they are meadow and ocean and desert and mountain. So with these four landscapes, you can design your home. Let me try to find it in the book to show you. I call it the biophilic blueprint, and I help you decide. This is so cool, guys. I designed all these mood boards to show you. Here, go back again. Let's see. Okay. I know I got it last time. Here we go. So these are the four um, mood boards, but really it's ideas for you to start designing your home by using nature. And one of the things that I really find important as an interior designer is to give my clients, give you, my audience, takeaways. And so in my book, I talk about really easy ways to design your home by nature, because a lot of times people are like, okay, that's a great idea, but what do I do? So to find your own biophilic blueprint, it's where you navigate, where you are really drawn to. What is it, the mountains? Is it the desert? Or is it the meadow? Or is it the ocean? And then once you decide your landscape, one of these four, then I give you something really amazing in this book. I mean, I spent a long time um, curating this grid. And this grid tells you if you want ocean springtime, if you want meadow in the summer, if you want the desert in the fall. I give you exact materials, textures, colors, and design element examples. So it's like, those color by numbers. I can help you bring nature in through design in your home to calm your nervous system down through my book, Grounded Living. And that's what I love, is giving you these ideas, but also helpful takeaways and tools so that you can get started right away. All right, so I see a lot of questions. Robbie, I hope I answered your question. Um, okay, Isabel, thank you. Isabel says, I absolutely love the cover of your book. Oh, thank you. What made you choose that cover? This is actually an apartment of a very dear friend. And as you know, in certain areas of the country, whether it's New York or Los Angeles, there's very dense populations. We are not always blessed with a lot of space. And so she had this amazing 1930s apartment, and this was one room in her apartment. And what I loved is the windows, the sitting area that I was able to help her design. And it just became something so amazing to have her relax in, because she is an editor herself and she was just inundated with work all the time, and she worked from home. I don't know how many of you guys work from home, but it is a struggle to find a free space without thinking about work. You really have to make an intentional place in your home to work, sleep, play. Like it has to be very intentional. So this embodied everything about bringing nature. It's not just about plants. To me, it's about, if you think about nature, the idea of nature being imperfectly perfect, right? Like the leaves are never really perfect, but when you put the background, the middle of the landscape, and then the foreground, when you add that visual depth, that brings that coziness. And that's what I love interior design, is bringing those three elements through the landscapes, through the color palettes. And when you add all of those things in, it adds a depth of safety and security that are organic beings. So we are all made of water and fiber and muscle. That's nature. So, of course, we are drawn to it. We need to be in it. 98% of our time is spent indoors, and the air quality inside is terrible. So, another reason why I wrote this book is to encourage people to find easy ways to bring in that nature, not just through plants, but through a whole variety of ways, so that we can calm ourselves down, to harmonize our home, and honestly, just feel better. Okay, so that's why I picked the cover, Isabel. Alex is asking, anything that got cut from the book you wish you that made it in? Alex, that's such a fun question. You know what? I I'm really, really fortunate. This time the first book was harder because I had never written down my home therapy methodology before. So it was harder. But this one, because it's nature and I live it, I live, breathe, and I guess do it as a business with my clients, and it's reflected in my own home. It felt so easy to write it concisely. I didn't really struggle. Thankfully, it fit in all the pages that we needed, and we didn't have to cut anything out. So thank you for asking. Okie dokie. Thank you for your nice comments. Hi, Jenna. Jenna asks, would love to know, what's one thing anyone can do in their own home to instantly feel grounded? You guys have the best questions. Okay. To me, there's two things, but I'm going to talk about the number one thing that's important, and you kind of see it on this side of my face, and that's lighting. There's so much of us, so many of us that live in areas or homes that don't have enough lighting. And something I struggle with all the renovations I do with interior design clients are, how do we bring more light into a space? And so I want all of you guys tonight to go home and think about, do I need to add more task lighting? Yes, it's recessed lighting. It's uglier. But you know what? I'm probably the only interior designer on this earth that every time we do a renovation, I'm like, we need to add recessed lighting, because you need to see what you're doing at night. And of course, if you want ambience lighting, then we add the wall sconces and the little lamps, and we dot it all over the room, and we find the right warm bulbs. And those are all important. Layering lighting is important. But also, if you have a task and you need to do it in your room or in the living room, you need to see who you're conversing with, you need to have recessed lighting. And then obviously natural lighting. is also really important because it gives us vitamin D. I call it our happy hormones. We need those dopamine hits in a very natural, organic, authentic way. We get way too much dopamine hits from scrolling social media, shopping. Um, artificial dopamine hits is our addiction as a society, and to change it in your own world, that means adding more natural light. I love skylights. It's not always an option for people who live, in an apartment or something. But if you do have a physical area where you can add a skylight, it's really not as expensive as you think. It really isn't, because if you think about the investment you're making into your mental health and how you wake up every day, and that light is in a very dark, depressing place that it was before, game changer. So natural light, I think, is one of the first fastest ways. And there's so many happy lights that help your seasonal affect. If you do feel more depressed during the winter, like me, then I have a happy light. It matches your circadian rhythm and gets it regulated. So your circadian rhythm is regulated, your sleep is better, and your mood is better. So lighting is fastest and best way to tackle that. Okay. Jenny has a question. Love your interior design vibe. I rent an apartment right now. Any advice you can give me to make upgrades to my place that aren't permanent? Oh, Jenny, you've asked the right person. Even though I had so many apartments as a grad student, as a single person, obviously, when I got married, our first home, it wasn't like a grand place. Like every home we've had it, because we had a budget, we have kids, we have couldn't renovate the whole house all at once. So this has already been seen a million times over. I think I was a very early adopter of using contact paper onto your bathroom countertops or your kitchen countertops. We had it in our kitchen for 4.5 years, believe it or not. And we just covered over ugly countertops. That's a quick way. I think paint is by far the easiest way to change a space. And don't be afraid of messing up, because honestly, another gallon of paint, yeah, it's maybe $25, but compared to a big renovation, it's okay. And even if it's repainting your nightstand, like really being creative with color. And if it's not paint, it can be art, it can be different textures like mirrors. I'm a huge fan of glass and mirrors because the light reflects through the mirror back into the room, and that makes the room feel lighter, airier. That's another immediate change by using light, and an instant upgrade. Obviously, styling, if you want to change up your bedding and pillows or blankets on your living room couch, seasonal things. When it comes back to nature, I love sustainability. Going outside and getting branches, florals, anything that shows organic nature to bring it inside as a DIY piece over your fireplace mantle. You can press flowers into art, to just having beautiful flowers, Trader Joe flowers on your kitchen countertop. Those are wonderful instant upgrades, especially by using nature. Kristen says, Hi, Anita. As a therapist and designer, how does psychology influence your design decisions? That is music to my ears. I it's just a part of who I am and how I operate at this point, because I've been a therapist for 20 plus years and interior designer for 12 to 15 years. So it's hard to say when that begins, when psychology begins, and when it in design, when it stops and ends with each other. It's like chicken or the egg. What to me drives my first intake with a design client is not necessarily asking, oh, what do you want to do with this kitchen or this bathroom? Like, what are the aesthetics? What are the functionality problems? One of the first initial questions I ask my clients are things like, who lives in here? And how do you guys live? What's the communication like? Are there any like friction, or is this a happy place and you just want to amplify that happy place? It doesn't always have to be a conflict, but I really like to get down to the brass tacks of what the relationships are in the space, because my goal is to use interior design as a way to help you thrive in your own home and help your relationships flourish and thrive in it as well. So that's my MO, and that's why I wrote my book, Grounded Living. Again, if you're interested in my book, don't forget to click the link on the Talk Shop Live on Instagram and Facebook. All you have to comment is shop in the comments, and a link is going to come up. And on YouTube, it's in the description. So I hope you guys get a chance to pre order my book. Jordan says, what's your absolutely favorite design in the book? That is such a good question because there's so much in here. Something I want to mention is I, throughout this book, have my own projects. But also there are so many designer contributors in here, which I mention in the beginning of the book and also as a resource in the back. But I have such amazing contributors that also emphasize biophilic design. And I was able to share their projects as well because it is a very it's not a new concept, biophilic design, but for me to share it in a way in the lens of psychology, I just found my friends, the designer friends and photographers who do, aren't these beautiful, to share their projects as well, because there's just so many people who design in a way that's very similar to mine, and I wanted to share their work as well because they are so amazing. So a favorite design in the book. Okay, let me flip through to see. I do have my own project here I wanted to share. There was a home I did and the kitchen. Let me see if I can find it. I wanted to share this one because a lot of people think about, oh, you know what? This is faster because, so this is a home I did in North Carolina for House Beautiful. And it was a windowless basement. And they were like, Anita, of all designers, we know you can do it because you have that psychology. Bring nature in. And so in that picture, I wanted to bring in fluffy clouds, blue sky, ocean. It literally had no natural light. It was dark, but I used a centerpiece chandelier that was, it looked like clouds and bubbles using glass. The wallpaper was a textured blue that almost resembled waves. The furniture was all round and curved, so it had that soft feeling to it. So that is probably a room I was very proud of because that was a challenge. That was a design challenge. Like, how do you make a dark basement into something light and ethereal? And I think I accomplished that. So okay, so Mimi says, if you had to describe your design style in 3 words, what would they be? Oh my God. 3 words, Mimi. Um, I think definitely clean lines. I wouldn't say ultra modern, but I like to say modern California modern, clean lines, California modern, but using nature. So biophilic design, that would be, and psychology. I know that's 4, but that's really who I am, is I love mimicking nature, not just plants, but the way that the landscape grows in different areas of the world, and how if that evokes a feeling in us, and if that softens our nervous system so that we can decrease that anxiety and stabilize our mood, then that's it. That would be it. Harlow says, how many designs are in the book? Can you show us your fave? So I showed you kind of my fave, but again, I have amazing design contributors along with my own projects. And so we have 250 pages of amazing projects and what I love too is I give you takeaways, and so you it's more of a guide, a visual guide to using nature into your home to help your nervous system. I love finding practical ways. I'm a visual person, I'm a visual learner. So I really took the time to find visual examples for all of you to I keep opening to the middle of the book. I really, sorry, I'm trying to make sure Instagram sees it too. I try to find ways that you can find this as a very practical guide into bringing all that nature into your home. Okay, Alyssa says, what makes biophilic design different from just decorating with plants? I think you've heard me say this already, but it is using principles of nature and bringing it into your home so that it adds the texture. So, jute rugs, chenille throws, floral print pillows and bedding, linen curtains and drapery that breathe and that give that, airy feeling. All those things mimic outside. There's so many things like a spider web. I know usually we don't like walking into spider webs, but if you really think about it, what a beautiful analogy, imagery of something that's there, but it's not there. And it adds just a feeling to nature and the design. Like when we see spider webs in the forest, it's not really out of place, right? Because it's part of nature. And so that's the kind of feeling you want to bring into your home to feel good. And so plants are important because obviously greenery, its research has shown that it clears our air, it helps our air quality, but it also improves memory, concentration, it's amazing. And colors. Did you know that colors is not just something that makes us feel good? We kind of make that A to Z connection, but I did some research on neuroscience and neurodesign, and it is amazing how our pupils our retina takes in whatever we see, and it computes and translates it into our brain, and it goes to the right places where our brain releases the endorphins, releases the dopamine, releases the serotonin. I mean, that's like a quick fix for us without paying $250 for therapy or going out shopping, which is short lived, or doom scrolling on social media, right? And so that's why I was so passionate about writing this book, Grounded Living, because what easy way to make us feel better at home than to use principles from nature. And that's the difference between just plants. I think it's intentionality of design through plants and through textures from nature. Jason asks, can you please show us some of the pictures inside the book? Yes, let me show you more. And let me, okay, so this is desert. This is from my friends who own the Joshua Tree. Their account on Instagram is Joshua Tree House, and they are an amazing couple. They're wonderful friends. When you go to their Airbnbs and their hotel, it's called the Posada in Arizona. Their intentionality of using nature is I mean, I feel so taken care of when they're that's why I picked them to be in the book as well, and they were so gracious to contribute because they everywhere you looked, there was intentionality in making you feel like you were in the desert, but in a very um safe way where I could relax my body. So let me show you that, and let me pick some another um this is by another designer, and she used, I'm so sorry about the blur, but she used wallpaper in a way that was so, it seems simple, right? It's greenery. But what I love is that wallpaper is another easy way to change up your space. And the peel and stick wallpaper these days, quality is great. And you can just, if you're renting, if you need to go, then That's it. But what I love about it is it's budget friendly and it evokes that nature to use that way to feel good because our brains and our eyes, they see things. So whether it's faux plants, whether it's art, whether it's wallpaper, anything that has that nature theme, it to the brain it's the same thing. It's not like, oh, that's fake. I'm not gonna release the dopamine because it's fake. No, it's the same. So that's why it's amazing to get this book because I have so many different examples. Another, I'm going to show you this. I have a photographer friend in the UK, and he goes to so many different areas. I mean, look at this little cottage bath scene. You guys, this was shot by my friend Daniel Casson in the UK, and he just captured the most amazing bath time. I'm a bath time girly. Like I love baths. So this just is biophilic design right here, okay? Because anything that activates your five senses, think of that as nature design. So when you're going through your house and you want to start designing with more nature in mind, pay attention to your five senses. What happens when you see a certain wallpaper or a certain texture? Does your body feel it? Is it through your eyes? Is it through tactile? Is it through your nose? Like, ask yourself these questions, and your own natural instinct to design will kick in. Okay. Janet asked, what's one design shift that can instantly make a space feel calmer? I need more calm in my life. LOL. Okay. I hear you, Janet. I need so much calm as well. And besides natural lighting, besides paint, I would say smell, scent, at least for me. So, all of us, just like how we're different learners, we can be visual learners. I'm a visual learner. Some people are auditory learners, so it can be music. Some people, need tactile. That's how they build things, that's how they learn. Start getting to know yourself. Are you a person that is drawn to aromatherapy for design? Or is it visual? Is it color and text, or is it tactile where you need to touch the textures? Janet, for me, I'm a visual learner and I love scent. So lavender, chamomile, orange, citrus, bergamot, there's all these yummy scents instantly makes me feel better. So I actually have a roller aromatherapy little stick that I just put on my wrists and behind my ears when I drive. I just have it in my purse. But at home, I love diffusers. I love candles. I love anything that just the minute the scent hits my nose, my olfactory system lights up. So that would be my advice to you if that speaks to you. Jason asks, what first inspired you to get involved in this line of work? Well, Jason, I would say the work found me because I don't know any other licensed marriage and family therapists who've done client, therapy work for 20 plus years and then interior design. So really the 20 plus years built my home therapy foundation, and then the interior design years to present time is a culmination of just wanting to support and help people. At the end of the day, my passion is to help people feel better and feel good. I started out as therapy because that was my mission. And then when I decided to pivot because I also wanted to fulfill my own creativity, I didn't want to lose that mission of helping people. That was my number one um, goal, was not to lose that. So interior design really fits because I'm still helping people with their homes in a way that I couldn't in the office, in a therapy office, but I get to be creative at the same time. Okay, Janet, I hope you got to see enough photos. I can share more later. Gina Lee, who would you say your design heroes are? Oh, that's a good question. So, my wonderful friends, Justina Blakeney, Emily Henderson, my bestie, Mikkel Welch. All these names you can go look up if you don't recognize them, but they're Amber Interiors, obviously. But I personally Justina, Emily, and Mikkel are amazing influences to when I first got started because I'm a self-taught interior designer, okay, guys? I don't have a degree or anything. I literally started my Instagram account with just at that time my babies were young. I had baby spit on the big microfiber couches. I tried to like stuff it with Target pillows and style it. Um, I was self-taught, so they were influential to me. And then architects, there's my dad was an architect, so he definitely influenced me. He was very into mid-century modern, and so that's mid-century modern nature. It's very Seattle. We have a big Nordic community up there, so I think mid-century modern kind of got influenced. I think that's just my observation. Gina, what did I study in school? I studied psychology. I went to graduate school for marriage and family therapy, and then I got licensed, and then I pivoted. How is the book sectioned out? Chandra, that's a great question. I really, really love that you're asking this. And by the way, guys, if you want this book, please click the link on TalkShop Live on Facebook and Instagram. Just comment shop and the link pops up. And on YouTube, just look in the link in the description and you're ready to go. So how I organize this book is by chapter themes. First, I describe biophilia at home. Then I talk how to bring the outdoors in. Then I talk about designing with light, integrating water elements, creating a natural order, living outside. And then my conclusion is embracing the evolution of home. So that's how it's sectioned out. Definitely pre-order it. And I will be signing. Hello, guys. I forgot to tell you. I'm going to be signing book plates so that when you buy your book today, you get a little note from me. Oh my gosh. I just 36 minutes in and then I tell you guys that. But yes, that's the special thing today is I am such a connector. So I am so excited to be able to sign my name and offer a little piece of me to you when you buy the book. Okay, so Kelly, I love a visual guide. Those photos are beautiful. Thank you, Kelly. Janice Berger from a fan from South Africa. Thank you, Janice. Thank you so much. Okay, so how do you approach a room that serves multi-purposes without feeling chaotic? Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking, Kelly. This is really important because we all live in spaces that have multi-purpose functions. And the very most important thing that I'd love to share with you is think of nature. Think of nature because nature has to exist in a wide open space, but there's, different purposes, right? So I always think of deep in the forest. I think that's where Bambi lives, right? So when I grew up in Seattle. Our home was backed up to mountains, and the deer and the animals and the critters would come down from the mountain past our house. Our house was in front of a lake, and they would go down to the lake to draw water, to drink water. And so whenever they would go back up, I always imagined them going deep into the forest, and that's where Bambi lives. So think of the different zones. So deep in the forest is where everything is quiet, right? And that's where they sleep and rest. And then maybe in the foreground in the fields, that's where they come out and they play or they eat and they come down to the water for hydration. Like so, just like in your space, think of the functions in the space as far as zones. So where's your hydration zone? Where's your sleep zone? In a small space, if you're thinking of a studio, that's how I help clients break it up. But if it's a family room for different personalities, think about what personality likes to relax in different ways and make the whole room cohesive by first honoring what they love doing. Because if they love doing something in that room, they're going to be drawn to it. And then you guys will organically come together to hang out together or to eat together or to work together. So really intentionally design spaces in zones and think of nature as your template, and that will help you. Angela asks, do you have any tips or hacks for anyone new to design, help them create a calm and peaceful vibe? I think I've mentioned a lot already today, but another tip would, and there's so many in this book, but I just turned one, the light bulb moment. So bringing in layers of artificial light to build off the natural light. So in this kitchen by my designer friend, she has pendants, she has wall sconces, and then a wide open door to natural light. So really play off the strengths of the room and build that light in, and that will definitely give you peace. Oh, Ellie, you just asked the best question. What color palettes tend to promote relaxation? Okay, so in my book, I curated, and this is why it will be really fun for you to get this book because I have so many takeaways, guys. I wanted to just put in chock full of design ideas using nature so that you can feel calm. Um, I curated paint colors so that you don't have to. So let me find the page. I know it's in the beginning. Um, and then don't let me forget, I have some plant pics too. That's still important for biophilic design. But let me, oh, here. So I curated I named the brand and the color for the different landscapes. So biophilic paint, these are Anita's go-to paint colors for my clients. Ocean, meadow, desert, and mountain. And I listed my core colors for each landscape palette. So if you want these, buy the book and you can definitely design through that. Okay, so Danny says, I live in Michigan. Where should I start to help make it through the long winters with no sunlight? Okay, so first of all, I hope that April is springtime is bringing in more light for you, Danny. But for my clients who are in Seattle or someplace in Michigan or New York when it's really dark and wintry, a happy light for your mood to me is very important because again, it regulates your circadian rhythm and it helps your dopamine, serotonin levels. So that's on an individual level. On a communal level, definitely layer your lighting. Find the right warm bulb that makes you feel warm and cozy. So it lights you up, but also makes you feel safe and um, you want to feel secure. All of us in our homes, because the outside world is so chaotic, all we need is stability in our home, right? We don't want any more chaos, like done with chaos. So I think for dark rooms, lighting is really important, but bring in nature, bring in branches, bring in greenery, or bring in something that feels organic and authentic, because that, again, through our eyes and through our tactile, that will help us connect to nature in a way that it reminds us to that we're not in our head all the time. We want to activate our five senses. Mikkel Welch, my bestie, says, hey Anita, I can't wait to get your new book. Can't wait for you to see it, Mikkel. Okay. Let's see. Ray Tutu says, self-taught are the best designers. I know, they're really great. I'm so inspired by so many. Okay, so let's see. Another question was, what is your favorite way to bring nature indoors? Well, I've already noted, greenery and things like that. But also, I think for interior design, and I wanted to show you this, my friend's Black Band Design, and I've done this too, but I have an imagery from them that's really great, is they had these stone shower. Let me see if I can find it. But I think bringing in different materials into your home architecturally. So this is just a little shower. Okay, but do you see the pebbles she used? That's so amazing because that's a way, it's a neutral color, but that's a textural and visual and experiential way to get us connected to nature uh, in a way that's architectural. And one thing that I do want to encourage everyone, if you are thinking about renovation and things like that, and you finally have the budget, I would really encourage you to not just have limiting beliefs that, oh, everything's too expensive. I can't use this material or whatever. I want to encourage you to really think about what will serve you best in the long run, and whatever serves your mental health, in my opinion, is worth the investment. So if a material is a little bit more expensive, but let me tell you, if it saves all those trips away to a hotel and you have a nice hotel bathroom in your home finally, that's worth it, right? So those are just some, it's give and take. But if it's possible, I would encourage you to invest in better quality materials and items and decor because it lasts you longer. It's sustainable. Okay, so I have more questions, but I think it's time to wind down. And again, click on the Talk Shop Live to get my book, Grounded Living. It is a very special book. And I hope that this will help you because there's so many wonderful examples in there, visual, and then I have takeaways. Oh, plants. Okay, I do want to talk about plants. So also in the book, I wanted to just share a teeny bit about my mom's plant journey. So my mom has a green thumb. My grandma did, and they had just tons of plants and trees. They loved plants. I didn't like that plants much growing up because my mom relegated me to water all her plants. Thankfully, she kept the plants going and growing. I don't know how this lady does it. She can turn a little leaf into another fiddle leaf plant that's 4 feet tall. I don't know how, and she makes it so effortless. Have you noticed people who are good with plants are it's like they're just really literally have a green thumb. So when I was finally ready to tackle becoming a plant mom, my mom would come visit me and she'd always admonish me because I really wasn't watering them as much and they die all the time. And she would say to me, she goes, Anita, they are your friends. They are living beings. You need to talk to them. You need to nurture them. You need to like love on them. I'm like, what? But I did notice that. And it was funny because in her house, if there's certain plants that aren't happy, she's like, oh, so and so is not happy. We got to move him. He wants to be with his friends. Should move to a new house. And we had put one plant downstairs by himself. And literally, when we brought him upstairs to better lighting and with his friends, he was so much happier. So, I mean, I think a trick for being a plant parent is seeing them as friends and making sure they're happy. But in my book, as a plant mom who needs convenience and not high maintenance plants, I give you a guide, Anita's Plant Picks, of all the plants that you can bring into your home. Sorry, I'm looking for it right now. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So when you get my book, you're going to get all these plants. I have like another page of it. And here's a project of mine. See here, I did the living room. But you get tons of plant duos, beginner friendly plants, trailing plants, feel good greenery. I even pair plants together. So if you want to find plants that look good together on your windowsill, and I really tried to pick plants that you don't just can Google. Like I really tried to pick plants that I loved, my go-to plants when I had to style for clients, but also for myself. So that's another little perk of having this book is that you will have so many different takeaways into your design, plants, textures, but most of all with the foundation of calming your nervous system so that you can feel good at home. Uh, I mean, after all, my subtitles, harmonizing design and nature in the home. And that was ultimately my goal. So thank you, everyone. We need to end this show, but could you guys put in the comments, would you guys like more of these shows? Because this was so fun. And I really like commenting or talking to you guys. So comment if you guys want another show, because this is really fun for me to connect with you guys and share about my book and answer questions. So again, Talk Shop Live, click the link to get Grounded Living today. And I'm going to sign and write a little note for you. And then also Instagram, Facebook, definitely comment shop and you'll get the book and I will sign and you'll get a little note from me. And then YouTube, click link in the description. Okay, guys. Again, I'm so proud to be sharing Grounded Living with you. It is an amazing tool guide in using a really easy way to make you feel good at home, and that's nature and psychology. So, thank you for stopping by. I'm so excited that you did. Catch me. I have new podcasts coming out for the whole month of April, blog posts. I'm on Instagram all the time. So, please DM me there, contact me. I would love to stay connected and maybe I'll do another live. Bye, guys.